Hello everyone, hello students. So, ang topic natin for today or for this video is on Introduction to Set Theory. So, by the way, this is Mr. Gerald Apostol and I will be the one discussing this topic. So, let us start on the definition of set. When we say set, it is a well-defined collection of elements or objects. And when we say set theory is a mathematical theory of well-determined collection or sets of objects are called members or elements of the set. So basically, if we are going to study the sets, we are in set theory. So who is the founder of set theory? So the founder of set theory is George Ferdinand Ludwig Philipp Cantor. So George Cantor was a Russian-born mathematician who can be considered as the founder of set theory and introduced the concept of infinite numbers with his discovery of cardinal numbers. He is also advanced the study of trigonometric series. So, ang father or ang founder ng set theory is si George Cantor. So, we have here some information or facts on set or set theory. So the object in a set are called elements or members of a set. So yung mga nandoon sa loob ng set are called elements or the elements of the set. And capital letters usually denote sets. So ginagamit natin ang mga capital letters para i-denote ang isang set, and then lowercase letters to denote the elements of a set. So here are example of sets. So number one, the collection of vowels in the word probability. So we know the collection of vowels. So if you're going to look at the word probability, so yung mga vowels dyan are O, A, and I. So next, the collection of real numbers that satisfy an equation. Or the equation, for example, if you're going to put an equation there, so maglalagay tayo ng equation. So for example, x is equal to x squared is equal to 4. So the collection of real numbers that satisfy the equation x squared is equal to 4. So alam natin na ang real numbers that will satisfy this particular equation is positive and negative 2. Kasi if we get squared of negative 2, our answer is 4. Same as true with positive 2 squared, that is also equal to 4. Next, the collection of two-digit positive integers divisible by 5. So, we know na yung mga two-digit positive integers are 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 hanggang sa 95. So kasi dito sabi dito, it's a two-digit positive integers. Next, the collection of members of K-pop group, Blackpink. So, and then we have collection of members of the Philippine Senate. So, yan yung mga example ng sets natin. So basically parang they are groups. Okay, parang ito, the first one is collection of vowels. So group ng mga vowels na available or nandito sa word na probability. Same as true with the other example. So we're going to explore these sets sa mga susunod na slides natin. So we have next. So we have what we call element. So the symbol, that small letter E or small letter epsilon, so a Greek letter, indicates the set membership and means it's an element of. So that the statement X, EA, means that X is an element of set A. So ginagamit natin tong symbol na to, itong small letter epsilon na to, na epsilon, when we say epsilon, it's a Greek alphabet, isa siya sa mga Greek alphabet, na ibig sabihin nito, kapag nakita nyo ito sa set theory, ibig sabihin yung object or yung element or yung thing or any particular member, ibig sabihin nun, belong siya doon sa isang set. So for example, so we have here set A, we have set A. Yung set A natin, ang laman niya is si 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, paano natin gagamitin yung Greek letter epsilon natin? So, para ma-indicate natin na si 2 ay member of this set, we can write 2 is element of A. Same as true with 3 is element of A. 4 is element of A. And 5 is also an element of A. How about 6? Is this an element of A? So basically, nakikita natin wala namang 6 dito sa ating set A. So para ma-indicate natin na si 6 ay hindi element ng A, lalagyan natin yung Greek letter epsilon and then we put a slash. So ang ibig sabihin nito, 6 is not an element of A. Same as true with A, this is A is not element of A. Of 2.5 is not an element of A, or 10 is not an element of A. So, yun yung symbol natin to indicate the membership of a particular object in a set. So, may tinatawag tayong empty set. A set with no members is called an empty set or null set, and it is denoted by this symbol. So, O and then we have slash. So, empty set, basically, this is a set na walang laman. And pwede natin siyang i-denote using this symbol. So, there are examples of null set. So, the set of real numbers, x, such that it will satisfy this particular equation, x squared plus 1 is equal to 0. So, the question is, bakit siya na-consider as null set or empty set? Kasi there are no real number that will satisfy this particular equation. Kasi if we are going to simplify and get the solution of this equation, so we have x squared plus 1 is equal to 0. So we have x squared is equal to negative 1. Then we are going to square root both sides. This will give us x is equal to square root of negative 1. And square root of negative 1 is equal to I, imaginary number I. X is equal to imaginary number I. So we know that the imaginary number is not an element of real numbers. So I is not an element of real numbers kasi this is an element of complex numbers kasi imaginary siya. So we know na sa equation na to, we cannot find any solution or any real number na magsasatisfy nito. Okay? Next, we have next example, set of living persons with 8 hands. We know that this set is a null set or an empty set kasi there are no persons or wala namang tao na nabubuhay na may 8 kamay. Okay? So basically, this is a null set. So here are other examples. So aside from this, aside from the 0 with slash na symbol to indicate a null set or empty set, pwede rin natin gamitin yung curly braces natin. So yung braces natin, yung ganyan, at walang laman sa loob. So basically, ibig sabihin yan, yung set B is a null set or empty set. Or you can simply write B is equal to this particular symbol. So ibig sabihin empty. So here is the note. So, B is equal to null set. Ibig sabihin nun, B is empty. Pero, it is not the same as B is equal to braces with null. Okay? So, basically, this particular set ito, mayroon siyang one element. Meron siyang isang element, which is yung isang null set na yon. Okay? Or yung null symbol na yun. Pero itong B na to, wala siyang zero, meron siyang zero na meant. So basically, walang laman. Ito naman, yung nandito is may laman. So hindi sila equal. Ang equal lang dito is ito. Itong symbol na to at itong curly braces na to. And this particular B is equal to braces with this particular null set symbol is not equal to this. Nakikita niyo ba yung pointer ko? So we have here finite set. When we say finite set, this is a set that has a finite number of elements. So when we say finite, we can identify the last element, or in simple words, pwede nating bilangin. So these are finite sets. So may limit yung kanyang number of elements dun sa loob. So for example, integers from 1 to 10. So we know na ang umpisa ng set natin is from 1 hanggang sa dulo, we have 10. So ibig sabihin nun, kapag kaya nyong bilangin or kaya nyong i-identify kung ilan ang laman mo set na yon, basically it is classified as finite set. So here are examples ng finite sets. So set C with elements A, B, C, and D. And we have set D, we have 2 and 4 as its elements. And we have set E with an element X such that X is a vowel. So we know na yung set E natin is may lamang 5 na elements. We have the A, E, I, O, U, or the A, E, I, O, U. And we have F such that X is a factor of 12. So we know na yung mga elements ni F are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. So mayroon siyang 6 na pwedeng maging factor. So basically, kayang bilangin yung mga elements niya. So if you can identify the number of elements inside the set, ibig sabihin nun, it is a finite set. So ang counterpart naman ng finite set is the infinite set. So when we say infinite set, it is a set that is not finite, or that is not finite. So we have here symbol, yung tatlong tuldok, which is called the ellipsis. So this is used to note or to denote that the set has more elements. For example, we have dot, 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 or the ellipsis, -1, 0, 1, and 2. So this is 1 and positive dito mga pa. Type error. So positive 1, positive 2. So basically, this will continue -2, -3, -4, and so on. And same as true with this, +3, +4, +5, and so on. So itong set na to is an infinite set. Kung if you are going to describe this particular set, this is a set of integers. Okay, so set of integers yan from negative hanggang sa positive, and we have 0. So, yon. So, kapag we cannot identify kung ano yung dulo, kasi continuous lang yung listing dito, same as true with the start, hindi natin mabilang kung ilan yan kasi diretso lang or infinite. Basically, it is classified as infinite set. So, if you cannot identify the last element, or you cannot count the number of elements, basically it is a infinite set, or it is an infinite set. So we have here an example. So set G, we have 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and so on. So we know that this set is a set of counting or whole. This is set of whole numbers. So we cannot identify the last element here kasi it's 4, 5, 6, and so on, kahit nasa millions na, and so on. So next we have set H. So as you can see the pattern, 0.01, 0.001, 0.001, 0.0001, and so on. So as you can see, we cannot identify the last element kasi it extends indefinitely or infinitely. So yun. So we have here set I, so x such that x is a negative integer. So we know na this is negative integer. It will start with 1, -2, -3, -4, and so on. So, if you're going to rewrite that, yan yung itsura. So, nandoon yung ellipsis natin. So, basically, it is an infinite set kasi continuous lang siya and we cannot identify the last member. And then we have set J, X, such that X is a number of the form P over Q, where Q is not equal to 0. So basically, this is a rational number. Set of rational numbers. So, ibig sabihin yan, yung mga numbers na pwede natin i-express in um, P over Q. So, pwedeng 1 over 2, 1 over 3, 1 over 4, 1 over 5, and so on. Pwedeng 2 over 1, 2 over 2, 2 over 3, 2 over 4, and so on. So, madami. So, basically, this is an infinite set. So, yun. So, our task here is to describe sets. So, kung mapapansin nyo, dun sa mga previous examples natin, may binigay na mga numbers such as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. And sinabi ko, it's a set of counting now, whole numbers. So, now, I am going to teach you kung paano ba i-describe yung sets based on the elements inside them. So, we have three methods or three ways to describe sets. So number one, it is by verbal description. So you are just going to describe using words the elements inside the particular set. And then we have roster notation or the listing method. You are going to list all the elements. And we have the set builder notation, or you are going to set a particular variable with particular equation or conditions. So, isa-isahin natin. So, we have the description method or the verbal description method. So, we are going to describe the set in words using using a verbal statement. So, for example, set of students in BSN 114 in University A. So, we describe a particular set na yung particular set or set of students belong to this particular section in this particular university. And then set of citrus fruits in the Philippines. So yung mga members dito, yung mga prutas na belong sa category na citrus. So yun. So we're just going to describe the particular set using a verbal statement. Next, we have roster notation or listing method from the word itself, listing. So this method is called tabulation method. So or listing method. When using this method, we list the elements of the set in a row between curly braces. So we are going to list. Ililista natin lahat ng members or lahat ng elements ng set. So we have here an example ng roster method. So we have set A. So as you can see, nakikita natin yung laman ng set natin. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we have also this infinite set B. So naka-roster method din siya kasi nakalista ng maayos yung kanyang mga elements. So we have negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. So we know naman na this extends indefinitely or infinitely. And same as true with this. And we have set C. So yung set C natin, set of colors, colors of the flag, Philippine flag, yellow, white, blue, and red. So kung mapapansin natin, so listing method or tabulation method, we are listing all the elements ng particular set na yun. So either nakikita lahat, so as you can see, nakikita lahat ng elements or pwedeng yan naka-infinite set using ellipsis. So alam naman natin na this discontinuous and so on. So next we have the set builder notation. So when using this method, we set a variable to represent any element in the set. So add a brief description of a specific property that is common to all members of that set. So we are setting conditions. So we're going to set a variable on the particular set that shares a specific property that is common for all elements in that set. So for example, So, example of set A. So, X such that. So, ang basa dito sa bar na to. Wait lang. Okay. So, paano basahin to? So, X such that X is greater than 1. So, ito, ang basa dito such that. Okay? So, as you can see, X such that X is greater than 1. So, alam natin na if you are going to list all the elements dito, kung gagamitin natin yung previous method natin, which is the listing method or tabulation method, alam natin na if we if we list all the elements, for example, pwedeng pwedeng 1, pwedeng 2, pwedeng 3, pwedeng 4, pwedeng 5, pwede ring 1.1, pwedeng 1. I know, it's hindi pwede ang 1 kasi walang equal dun. So, pwedeng 1.01, 1.02, 1.2, 1.3, and so on. So, basically, walang other conditions dito. Pero if we add other conditions para mas mailista natin ng maayos. So, for example, let's fix this. A is equal to X such that X is greater than 1 and X is an element of natural numbers. So when we say natural numbers, yun yung numbers na 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So nag-start sa 1 up to infinity. So as you can see, if you're going to list all the elements, so na-erase lahat. So for example, dagdagan natin to ng where X is element of natural numbers. If you are going to list all the elements here in A, so we have 2, mag-start ka sa 2 kasi wala namang equals sign yan. 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So, yan. So, yan yung kanyang counterpart sa listing method. So, next we have set B. X such that X is a student in BSN 114 in University A. For example, if you are going to list all the students in this section, BSN 114 in University A, for example, we have Jermaine, Josie, Elisha, or else, sino pa ba yung So yun, and so on. So hanggang sa ilan kung you are 44 or 43 in a class, diretso hanggang sa 43 student. So yan. And then enclosed with braces. So yan yung counterpart niya sa listing method. Pero in this set builder notation, ganito ang ginagawa. So X such that X is ganun, or X such that X is greater than 1. So yun. So this is a property. The property ang nandun sa pangalawa. O na pinagsisharean ng lahat ng elements ng particular set. So here is an example. So here is a verbal description of a particular set. Set of all odd positive numbers less than or equal to 5. 5. So we have here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kapag nakalista yung mga elements. And okay, palitan natin such that. And kapag verbal description naman, set of all odd positive numbers less than or equal to 5. Set of all odd positive numbers less than or equal to 5. So here is the set builder notation. So we have odd number and it is less than or equal to 5. So there is a correction here. So hindi 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yan. So it is set. So we have set with elements 1. So yung mga odd numbers lang. 3 and 5. So 1, 3, and 5 lang yung laman no ano natin, list natin. So this is incorrect. So this is the correct one. So x such that x is an odd number. So when you say odd number, it is not even. So we know that even numbers are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and odd numbers are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and so on. And it is from 0 up to 5 or less than or equal to 5, and it is positive. So yan. So sa pag-aaral natin sa math, I know na na-encounter niyo itong mga sets na to ng numbers. So here are the common numbers or common sets ng numbers na usually na na-encounter natin. So we have natural numbers. So ang symbol ng natural numbers natin is n, and yung mga natural numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So ito yung ano niya, roster method, and ito yung kanyang set builder notation. X such that x is a natural number. Kapag ganito, we know na it starts with 1 and so on. And we have whole numbers. So pag sinabi natin whole numbers, ang symbol niya is W, and whole numbers is a natural number plus yung 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Or we have x such that x is a whole number. So, yung natural numbers mag-start sa 1, and yung whole numbers mag-start sa 0. And we have integers. So, we have here integers, positive and negative integers. And then we have also the rational numbers. So, rational numbers are numbers that can be written in the form of P over Q, where Q is not equal to 0. And we have real numbers. So, we have real numbers. And then we have complex numbers, letter C. So x such that x is a complex number. So kapag alam natin na there is an imaginary number I, so yung letter I natin, which is square root of -1, basically it is part of complex numbers. Okay, next. We have subsets. So when we say subsets, a set A is a subset of another set B if all elements of set A are elements of set B. Okay, so as you can see dito sa ating figure, so ibig sabihin ng subsets, so kapag nakakita kayo ng set na ang laman niya, or if we are going to consider two sets, for example, set A and set B, so as you can see in the figure, so yung set B, ang laman niya 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and yung set A, ang laman niya is 1, 2, 3. So if we can see, lahat ng elements ni set A is element din ni set B. So basically, yung smaller set na yan, yung small chunk or small part ni set B is a subset of that particular set. So, yung set A natin is subset of set B. So basically, kailangan lahat ng elements ni subset is nandoon sa element kung nandoon sa set kung saan natin siya nire-refer. So for example, here, for example, we have set S 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have set T 1, 2, 5, and then we have set Q 1, 2, 3, 6. So as we can see, itong set T, we have 1, 2, and 5. At makikita natin yan sa set S. We have 1, 2, and 5. So lahat ng elements ni set T is member ng set S. So we can say that T is a subset of set S. So dito naman sa Q, kung mapapansin natin, we have 1, 2, 3, and 6. We have 1, we have 2, we have 3, and we don't have 6 doon sa set S. So basically, pwede natin sabihin na Q is not a subset of S. So kahit iisa lang na element ang wala dun sa particular set na yon, hindi mo siya pwedeng tawagin subset ng isang set. Kailangan lahat ng elements niya is nandoon para masabi mong subset siya ng isang set. And a subset is a set whose elements are all members of another set. So here are the symbols. So we can use this particular symbol to denote subset, and itong walang equal dito sa baba means it is a proper subset. So we are going to use this. So tuturuan ko kayo kung paano gamitin yung mga yan. So we have here example. So we have set K. Set K has elements 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. And set M has elements 1, 2, 1 and 2. So we know that M is a subset of K kasi lahat ng elements ni M ay makikita mo doon sa K. So since lahat ng elements ni M is available doon sa K, ibig sabihin nun, M is a subset of K. Next example, so y is equal to x such that x is an integer, and we know kapag we are going to list all the elements of integers, mag-start din sa negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, and so on. So infinite set, continuous. And we have here, so t is equal to 1, 2, 3, and 4.5. So yung 1, 2, and 3, nandito silang tatlo. And yung 4.5, as you can see dun sa integers, wala namang decimal numbers sa ating set of integers. So basically, yung 4.5 is not element, hindi siya element ng integers. Hindi siya elements ng integers. So basically, itong 4.5, hindi siya part ng y. So we can easily say that yung set T is not a subset of Y kasi there is a particular element na nandoon sa set T na wala naman doon sa set Y. So, basta mayroong kahit isa lang na hindi kasama doon sa isang set, ibig sabihin nun, hindi siya subset ng isang set na pinagre-referan natin. Okay, another example. So we have 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as you can see, yung set A, yung lahat ng elements sa set A is nandito sa set E. So ibig sabihin nun, si set A is a subset of set E. So lahat yan, subset ni set E. So when we say proper subset naman, a proper subset is a set or a proper subset of a set A is a subset of A that is not equal to A. So as you can see, pwede nating i-denote yung proper subset using this symbol. So halos same lang sila ng subset pero wala yung guhit dito sa baba. So paano ba yung proper subset? So here is an example. Which of the following sets are proper subset of A? So ibig sabihin ng proper subset, this is a subset pero hindi siya equal doon sa particular set. So there is at least one na element na wala doon sa subset na yon. So as you can see, yung letter E, itong set E, actually this is a subset of A. So A ay E is a subset of A. Pero hindi siya proper subset. Kasi hindi siya proper subset kasi lahat ng element niya is equal dyan. Or lahat ng element na A is nakuha niya. So basically, sabi kasi, dun sa definition natin ng proper subset, that is not equal to A. So kailangan mayroong isa, at least one, na element na A na maiiwan or hindi masasama. So we have set F. So dito sa set F, so 1, basically nandoon yung 1. So ibig sabihin, this is a proper subset. Dito rin sa 1 and 2, nandoon yung 1 and 2, so proper subset. So 1 and 3, 1 and 3, nandoon din, proper subset. Si 2, nandoon din, proper subset. Si 3, nandoon din, proper subset. Si 3 and 2, nandoon din, proper subset. And we have null set. So null set is not a proper subset kasi wala namang laman, wala namang equal. So or hindi siya basta If we have null set, so this is note na lang natin. Note that null set is subset of all sets. So, and then yung buong set is a subset of itself. So, kapag we have null set, this is a subset noong kahit anong set. So, bawat set, mayroon at mayroon silang subset na null set. And then, also, lahat ng set ay subset nila ang sarili nila. So, as you can see dito sa set E, actually yung set E, 1, 2, 3 is actually set A mismo. Kasi para silang 1, 2, 3 ang laman eh. 1, 2, 3. Same as true with set E, 1, 2, 3. So, actually, this is set A din. So, basically, they are subset kasi every set is subset to itself. Same as with null set. So, null set is a subset of all sets. So, itong dalawang to, these are improper subsets. Okay? So, yung dalawang yan, improper subsets yan. And the remaining subsets ng bawat sets are called proper subsets. Okay? So, yan. So, na-erase na. So, this is improper. So, this is not proper subset. Basically, hindi rin to. So, yun. So, ang proper subsets natin are set F, set F, set F, set G, set H, set C, set K, set G. So, yun. And yan. So, next. Here is the quiz. So, um, try to answer the following. So I am going to flash all the questions. Try to pause the video para makopya nyo lahat ng items and try to comment down yung mga sagot ninyo or share it to your classmates. So we have here page 1 and then we have here page 2. So rewrite the following sets in set builder notation. And we have set page 3, not set 3. And we have page 4, and we have page 5, and then we have page 6.